Hello, everybody, and welcome to a spooktacular episode of the Lex Talk Stuff Podcast, the podcast where I feel like talk about whatever I want. And this time, I decided to do something a little different. I am doing a Halloween episode, and today I have three guests with me. This is the first time I've had three guests on the show, and all of them have been on the show before. We just had Ben on last week with our Transformers episode, which now has 157 views on it. So that's my highest viewed episode.
Pizza.
Uh, we had Zach on a couple of weeks ago talking about Star Wars, and Jack on back in the summer talking about the MCU. And this is kind of a reunion, if you think about it, when we all did our first tryout podcast together. Thank God that didn't happen.
Mm.
When we were
This
talking,
was probably a year ago, right?
this was like 2 years ago. We filmed it 2 years ago,
My
but
Lord.
I put together the episode last year, and it still resides on this channel right here. Everybody can listen to it. I'll put a link in right here.
Twinkling in
Um,
my.
But yeah, no, this is a fun reunion, and I wanted to get you guys all on, and I think it's pretty awesome. So, like we're all dressed up, so let's tell people what we're all dressed up as. I am Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2.
I spent way too much money and effort. That's all I got.
Yeah, Ben's a Ghostbuster. Jack is a Jack-o'-lantern
I'm
man.
just a pumpkin guy, yeah.
It's Daniel Pumpkins.
And Zach, do you want to tell everybody what you are?
I am not Taylor Swift, Kurt Cobain,
I
but
gotta
I
shake
look
that
like I
off.
just danced to a Chapel Roan, which I won't say I didn't.
You got the glasses, you
I
got the
mean,
hair, you got
I
the
think
sweater.
Kurt Cobain probably would dance to Chappell Roan.
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely.
Tess and
Cheers
I
to that.
Tess and I pondered this idea of like if Michael Jackson was still alive, who do you think he would be like in support of, or like who do you think he would mentor? But
Bruno
like
Mars.
Bru that's a good one. I like that
Yeah.
one.
Uh,
She
The week
thinks
the
that
weekend.
yep, the weekend. She also thinks that what's her name? That like Doja Cat would definitely be within the Michael Jackson branch. What do you think for
Mm.
Kurt Cobain? Of like
that's a good
people of
question
today.
because I think if he was around, he probably would either be doing philanthropy work or just mainly like doing labels rather than any corporate music, maybe like some indie tracks, but that's about it.
I could
I,
see him have work. I could see him like working with Brendan Urie for a brief period of time until just the two egos collapse.
I could possibly see it. It might be a little too corporate. I could picture maybe like being the studio to take in a lot of indie or social media rising musicians.
Hmm.
Like Dury is a great example. They're uh, rock band from the Midwest. I could see him working labels on. I also think like Chapel Roan to an extent. I think if
Mm.
they were to work together, it would be much less like radio broadcasted everywhere, but I think it would be much more,
Did you
even
guys
more soulful. Not to say that it's not soulful, but
did you guys hear that Tony Hawk's son and Francis Bean Cobain, Kurt Cobain's daughter, just had a kid. He's like the chosen one to become the whitest man on earth.
his
Yeah.
name is fucking Ronan. If this kid is not the coolest guy ever, I mean, he has no excuse. No excuse.
He better
Yeah,
be fucking
exactly.
shotgunning beers by the time he's 4, little fucking coward. Like, I wanna
And he's
see
gonna like
him.
save a rainforest by the time he's 12.
No, he's not.
And then by like
He's
the
gonna
age
tweet about it. It's even worse.
and then the age of like 21, he's gonna open his own like beer company,
Coffee shop.
coffee shop. Yep, you're right.
In
Coffee shop.
Seattle.
Music coffee shop.
Ah, the
Yeah.
Seattle. There it is. Um,
The Seattle Music Coffee Shop. I like this. This is great.
so let's
Uh,
talk about horror movies.
yeah,
So
today we're talking about some of our favorite Halloween movies, specials, TV episodes of some of our favorite
I'm
childhood shows,
I'm
and
grabbing this right by the fucking horns. I am going straight in, going like a barbarian in Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, I'm screaming from the rooftops about a movie that just came out. It was in theaters for 10 seconds, got no publicity because guess what? It just didn't. And also, it's on streaming October 31st. So, get on it, people, get on it. I saw it in theaters. It's called The Substance, and The Substance was fucking insane. I saw it in theaters. I saw it. There were 2 screenings. One was at 2 in the afternoon. The next one was at 9 o'clock at night. So we went to that one, and I didn't get out of the theater till 11. And I wanted to get a free refill like a scummy little scumbag, and I couldn't because they turned off the machine. But that's not my point. So,
so but yeah, like what are the movies that you put on during around this time? Let's start with Ben since he already started us off.
I need to just talk about this movie because as much as I appreciate the past, we need to highlight stuff that's coming out that's new because it's like this wasn't like a remake, this wasn't like a adaptation, it wasn't like a book. Like it's like they just made a story and I'm like, we need to do this more. We need
Mhm.
to support this more. So it's pretty much like if you took the kind of like gender theory stuff from Barbie and you put it together with Cronenberg The Fly.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it's all about that body expectation, seeking perfection, self-destruction type shit. And it handles it really good. It's filthy. And basically there's this so the only problem with the movie I think I have is how out of touch and pretty blank it is about its Hollywood, but it doesn't need to embellish that much on it, so I kind of let it slip. And it's borderline a satire movie because by the end it's making fun of itself. Like this movie's cruel with intent, and basically this woman who was doing like kind of fitness stuff, like fitness videos in the 80s and stuff, after working there for like 30 years, she gets fired. They're letting her go because they don't think that she's profitable anymore. And she like goes and sees a doctor, and she gets slipped this stuff about this illicit experimental drug called the substance, which basically makes a better version of you. And I'm gonna pull one cat out of the bag because this movie has 10 cats. Okay, this movie has 10 cats. And they're all in bags. You don't want to look at all of them. I'm gonna pull one out. So pretty much what happens is she injects herself with this stuff, and a seam splits along her back, and it's almost like a mitosis where a younger, more perfect version of herself is pretty much born out of her back, and she's forced to like stitch herself back up.
Mhm.
And she goes crazy with power about this, but the catch is every 7 days you have to switch back. So it just creates this cycle of madness. And yeah, it's on streaming tomorrow,
So she just incubates
Oh,
herself.
pretty much.
Oh, that's
what?
well, that's
Is
that's
it like one
definitely
of
some.
those toys that you can like inside out and she becomes young or old?
No, it's more like she hatches from herself,
Like
and then the
larva.
consciousness leapfrogs back and forth between bodies. And whenever like one is off for a week, they're basically just drip fed nutrients.
Okay, they're like a comatose bag.
It's disgusting. It's morbid. It's really
Hey
morbid.
guys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I
Uh,
just realized I'm getting signal from my speakers on my Audacity, and I just realized my earplugs aren't plugged in.
Oh,
I
no, it's
don't
all
think
good.
Oh,
Okay.
we're
gonna
not we're
ruin.
not hearing any feedback, but can you hear
Okay.
us fine?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah.
make sure it's not bleeding in.
I don't
Yeah,
hear
you're
anything
fine.
in my
Cool.
headphones.
Screw the headphones. I don't wear headphones.
I'm just wearing headphones just in case.
Mm.
Yeah.
But so
Um,
yeah, no, that sounds good.
that's
We'll gotta check it out sometime. The
I
subs
love
What
Scream.
streaming service this is going to be on?
Yeah.
It's on. I don't know if it's going to be on every streaming service yet, but I know that the company that owns it has their own streaming software that they're making, and I'm like,
Hmm.
but
One of those.
Hmm.
that's the catch. But I mean, it's worth it for some freaky ass A24 avant-garde nonsense.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean, what's funny is what you're saying about like, they tried to make their own streaming thing. You know what it reminded me of?
Hmm.
Does anyone remember a few years ago when BET tried to make a Karen horror movie?
They made a Karen Christmas Carol.
I didn't know about that one. I knew about the Karen horror
Yeah,
movie where
it's
this
like a
black
Chris.
couple moves into this neighborhood and their neighbor is named Karen and she's the stereotypical Karen, but they discover she's like a white supremacist and a murderer and it's
is
just
this a Blumhouse film?
no, it's not. It's made by BET. They made it
Okay.
themselves and it's just like, oh my God.
It's like they watched the first 10 minutes of Get Out and said, I know what to do. Um,
Uh, but yeah, but aside from like some of the newer stuff, I
mhm.
know a couple years ago, Molly showed me and Tess Smile, and that
Mhm.
still haunts my nightmares every now and then. Uh, but yeah, I mean, what I think I loved most about the movie, aside from like how scary and creepy it was, is that it was a really cool story about someone learning to stop blaming themselves for everyone else's problems. Because the who here's seen Smile? So okay, you have been. All right. So yeah, like I think that's a fair assessment of the movie because the main character, she sees the smiling figure. She's basically followed by it in her day during the daytime, and it fucks with her and everything like that. And the thing is, like, she's always haunted by, like, when she was a little girl, her mom OD'd in the house. And she was so scared she didn't know what to do. And she's like, maybe I could have called 911. Maybe I could have done something. And then when all this is going on, she's talking to her sister who acts nothing like her whatsoever. And her sister just basically is like, you're the weirdo of the family. I only invite you here because you're family. If you weren't, I wouldn't have you in anything.
Mm.
And her boyfriend, played by Jesse T. Usher, aka A Train, uh,
Mhm.
like he's like a security guy or like a cop, something like that. And he's just like, there's something wrong with you. Like he's like not helping out with her. He's the boyfriend that that's there for the best, not for the worst.
Hmm.
And like she even like confronts all these people halfway through the movie. Like she looks to her boyfriend is like, you're only here for when the times are good. When the shit hits the fan, you duck and cover and you don't come for me. Like, yeah, I'm by myself here and I wish you were supporting me. Like like I was just like, yeah, that's what it seems like. Seems like he's like not there. And then she talks to her sister. She's like, you claim you have this like perfect little life and you're just like there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like, and she was like pointing out all the things wrong with her and her life where it's like, and you're blaming me for all of it. And I was like, yeah, I know I got weird stuff going on, but it's no excuse to treat me like I'm a fucking outsider. I've been your sister for years. And then when like the smile demon eventually confronts her, like she actually goes back into, like, it recreates the home and like the incident where like the mom was ODing and she's like, "Why didn't you do something to save me?" And then she starts being like, "I was a kid. I was scared. I didn't know what the hell to do in this scenario. I'm not responsible for you dying. You are." And I think that's one of the best things about this movie. I was like, it's terrifying and it has a character arc, sadly, you know. You know what? Do you want me to spoil it?
Sure.
Yeah,
No,
so
for a
she
while.
dies at the end and then passes it on to her other love interest, cop. And so, and
It loops.
I don't know what role he plays in the sequel, but all I know is that Jack Nicholson's son is in Smile 2 and he's creepy.
Dude, that smile. I don't usually agree with Nepo baby casting, but that
I
guy's
said the same
got the
thing.
smile.
Yeah.
I said the same thing. Um,
Yeah, and what's so funny is in the first movie, the girl that the girl that plays the main character, the actress, that's Kevin Bacon's daughter.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then a few months later, I saw her in a commercial with her and her dad. It was like an energy saver car thing. And when I saw her on screen, I kind of jumped in like fear because it's like she just freaked me out in that movie. And then like I every time I see her, I get uncomfortable and nervous, like I'm expecting something. And then I look at Kevin Bacon, I'm just like, he's just a guy. Look at this guy. He's so happy. He's just
it's just
getting
a
energy
guy.
efficient cars. He's going to a farm. He's a good guy. Um, but yeah. Any other like modern horror we want to get to before we go to the past?
I've got a couple. I know,
Okay.
Jack, you've seen this one. We talked about it a little bit, I think. Um, Poor Things.
Yes.
I went into it thinking it was going to kind of be like a more fantastical kind of like modern take on like influences of like Frankenstein,
Hmm.
but holy shit, that first half of the movie hit me like a ton of bricks. I really liked that. And the like the acting was phenomenal. Um, and there was another recent movie. I haven't seen a lot of recent movies. Poor Things was one of the like deal breakers for me. Um,
Mm.
but there was another. Oh, um, Poor Things is a good example of a good modern horror movie, or just general movie. But I think it fits too, with the darker aspects. But um, have any of you guys seen The Pope's Exorcist with
No, I have not. Isn't
what's
that
his
with
name?
Anthony Hopkins?
No, it's with maybe kind
Russell
of the movie's
Crowe.
a blur.
Oh,
Um,
wait. Isn't
Gladiator.
it Russell Crowe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he
He got
later
fat. Like, holy shit, dude.
was in
Poor Russell
another
Crowe.
Exorcist movie.
Not to fat shame this man. I love this man. But like it just surprised me. Like you see Gladiator and then you see now, and it's just like 20-year difference.
Just
If
wait
you
until
want,
Gladiator 2 comes out.
yeah. Um, if you want a good, really bad movie to drink to, I heavily recommend. Just one of those really, really horrible horror movies that's just so entertaining to watch.
Any recommendations?
For movies to watch.
Yeah, like specifically.
If you haven't seen Poor Things, watch Poor Things. I don't want to spoil anything. Um,
Uh,
You know,
I'll think of
yeah.
any. It will come back to me later. I'm ADHD as hell
Yeah,
right
no, it's
now.
all good. What about you, Jack? Any new ones?
Not really. We don't watch a lot of horror movies now. Like we usually stick with like Nightmare Before Christmas now and other stuff like that. I was thinking more. I got a couple of like old stuff that I remember watching back in the day that I want to talk about, but
Mm.
I'll save that for when we go back to the nostalgic stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Well,
I would
I think we can lead into that right now. What were we about to say, Ben?
I would love to like talk about like so let's think like Scream's real like one of my keystone franchises because it's it comes from like an era where you have to look at it based off of the rest of horror. Like
Mhm.
as horror picked up in like really picked up in the 70s. And I'm not even talking about like monster horror. I'm talking about slasher horror really picking
Mhm.
up in the 70s. And like watching that pick up and then we lead to it becoming kind of commercialized with Friday the 13th and Freddy, and then we have like 20 movies and we're like, where are we going? We're running around in circles here. And then you see Scream, and Scream is so self-aware of it and Halloween and all of that. And you're like, so it's almost like the bit is like these people randomly realizing that they're in a horror movie. And like, I think that's neat.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing about Scream and like I put Scream in the same category as The Princess Bride for like movies
yeah,
that are supposed to be parodies but end up becoming like their own thing. And then other
exactly.
people parody the parody, like, in Scary Movie,
Scary
we
movie,
get that.
yeah.
And it's
Literally.
and it feels it's funny, but you look at it and you're just kind of like, but
They're making a new one.
yeah, I know, but it's like you're parodying a parody. Like you can't parody a
Yeah.
parody. It feels like you're canceling something out. Like it just feels kind of hacky. Like The Princess
The
Bride is always like referenced and joked about, and we make the jokes, but overall it's like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but do you get what I mean?
I get
I
you,
think
yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think yeah, because it's like Scream and Princess Bride, there's still substance in there. But then
Hmm.
it's like Scary Movie got so lost in the sauce by 4 or 5 where they're dealing with like The Ring. Like, oh my
Mhm.
God. It's good shit though. It's really good.
I like the
Um
scary movies. They don't like critique the genre. They just spoof it.
Yeah.
There's
they
nothing
shit.
deeper than that surface level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
Scream
never
takes itself seriously.
yeah.
Yeah, for
But
the
yeah,
most
like
part.
but what's funny is I don't know if I would categorize Evil Dead in that same category. Because
I think Evil Dead 2 is a spoof of Evil Dead 1.
Yeah.
a kind it's a better version of Evil Dead 1, even though I do love Evil Dead 1. But the thing is, I feel like it became kind of a parody on accident. Because
Yeah.
Sam Raimi, like in the series scenes in one, uh like they were trying to do it seriously, and then it just looked funny in certain clips. And then they reshot some parts to make the funny parts a little more intentional. And but yeah, like I like those movies, they are funny. Like there's some funny parts, like when Ash goes crazy in Evil Dead 2 and he sees all like the stuff
Oh,
laughing around him and he
that's so
Mhm.
sees
good.
and he sees the lamp like, bending down with him and he's like, "Oh." And it doesn't get up and he just like it's
Oh.
just madness, but it's like fun madness.
I
It's
think
just
it's a great example of how to blend comedy and horror in like a really, really good way.
Yeah. Although, does Zombieland count as a parody movie?
I think it
No,
would count as a parody of the zombie genre, but not any
Mhm.
specific movie.
Well, what about
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead?
Yes, also.
that's a
Yeah.
parody
Yeah,
because
you
Yeah.
know what
that
that is?
movie, like
Don't.
Zombieland,
Mhm.
takes itself with a modicum of seriousness where the zombies are like constantly distinctly a threat, where it's like the zombies are more of a thematic, they're like more of a theme in Shaun of the Dead, where
Yeah.
The
it's
fact
like,
that Sean can like draw all of the zombies away from the Winchester just by hopping up and down in the group and they can't grab him and he just walks away doing that.
Yeah.
like literally, like it's like the there's too much funny. it's too funny. Like it's like everything is built around them trying to like showcase Sean's problems. Like
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead is about growing up and maturing. It's not about the zombies.
Yeah, like throwing your weapons
exact
away and taking
Like the
responsibility.
complete opposite of Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, where it's you have too much, you're too responsible, you need to learn to relax.
I would argue that Hot Fuzz is about being comfortable with who you are and just the world needing to be more serious.
Maybe. I think that's a great assessment. I do prefer Hot Fuzz over Shaun of the Dead. Not saying I don't like
Mm.
Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead's awesome.
They both
Like
have their place.
yeah, me and Tess, we watched a bunch of like Halloween movies or spooky related movies this month. Like obviously we started it with Nightmare Before Christmas. How could you not? Such a
Mhm.
great movie. I wish Tim Burton would do one more animated movie before he like eventually retires. But I think he's
Animated
just
or stop motion?
yeah, make it stop motion. I think he's just like I'm tired. I'm
Did
tired. I
anyone
can't
watch
keep it.
Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice?
Yes, I did.
Not yet. How was it?
I loved it.
I haven't seen it. I've heard it's a great movie when it comes to sequels,
Yeah.
especially for a movie that came out a long time ago.
Mhm.
But
Yes. It's like
um,
I put it in the category of Blade Runner 2049.
okay,
Okay.
all right, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not as deep as Blade Runner 2049. I
I
think
know.
Blade Runner
I'm like pulling. I'm cocking the
No,
slide
no,
on
no,
my
no,
fucking
like
nine
Blade no,
millimeter. I'm
Blade
like
Runner
thin ice.
no, like Blade Runner 2049, I think Blade Runner 2049 is better than even the original Blade Runner, any of
It
them.
is. It is, and I'll die on that hill
No, I'll die on that hill too. I'm like,
because
because Ridley
it's
Scott also says it's one of my favorite movies too. I want to be like, shut the fuck up, Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott.
Shut the
I'll
fuck
take
up,
your
but I
head off
agree.
and stick it up your rat. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just had to hold. New
Uh,
Ghostbusters movie was interesting.
yeah, I liked Frozen Empire. It's not great as Afterlife, but I had a good time watching Frozen Empire because we went and saw that together. We had a fun time.
We snuck burritos in.
Hell yeah.
That's right. I forgot you did that.
There's a Chipotle in the parking lot of the movie theater near NEIT now.
There's always been.
Wait,
There wasn't always a
oh
Chipotle.
no, it's relatively new. I remember I used to go to the NEIT gym and then immediately hit Chipotle for a burrito bowl. Um,
Yeah. That whole building used to not be there. It used to be just the theater, and then they put that
Yeah.
little building in.
yeah,
Parking lot.
I took tests there for like our first date,
Yeah. No,
which was in
I mean,
2021.
they threw it up there like 5, 6 years ago, but
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
I remember the time before they threw the Texas Roadhouse in there. I remember it was
That's
just
right.
the theater.
Yeah.
And we went into the Texas Roadhouse like just before it closed.
You walked into a
No, no,
Texas
no. That was
Roadhouse?
the Longhorn.
The Longhorn. Thank you.
Yeah, we went
I
there
Oh,
with
missed
that
Matt.
that wasn't Longhorn. That was Outback.
Outback.
Oh,
Outback,
Outback.
That
yeah.
was
Yeah.
Australian.
Jesus
What a
Christ.
what a
Same
microcosm of the
difference.
American culture where we're arguing over steakhouses next to a movie theater.
No,
I
it's
know.
not this gray brown building. It's this gray brown building that serves
They all look
steak.
the same.
They
That
all look
Outback used to be a
Put
Ruby
the
Tuesdays. That's
steak
how old
in
that
the
building was.
Oh,
bag.
wow.
Oh, dude.
But yeah, like this month we did Nightmare Before Christmas. How can you not do it? It's a great movie. What needs to be said about it that isn't already said?
What's this? What's this? There's white stuff in the air.
We sung that at a Halloween party.
Yeah.
Then we try to do a thing where we try to watch two movies like every Friday with me and Tess whenever I get off from work.
Mm,
Like we try to do that for this month so we could sneak in a lot. Like what we snuck in was Night Before Christmas, and then we watched the original Halloween, which is the
Okay.
only Halloween I've seen because I'm a John Carpenter fan. Like
Carpenter.
yes, the movie's not quite like John Carpenter's still not quite there on like John Carpenter. filmmaking. Like he just did Assault on Precinct 13 uh a year or two prior, which is pretty good. I like that one. But
It's all
Hall
over,
but Halloween is still a really good movie. Like
guys.
from a filmmaking standpoint, it's brilliant, suspenseful, and well,
That's a Cybertruck that has the Ghostbuster logo on it, and it says "Ho." What does it say? Hose Busters, and on above the wheel it said, "I ain't afraid of no hose." What the
This
fuck?
is what happens when you give people too much money.
yeah.
I might have something competing with that. I saw a wood paneled one themed after the National Lampoon's movies.
Oh god.
Ew, for a Cybertruck?
Yeah, it was in Rhode Island.
I feel myself
Ugh.
burning testicular torsion.
I see
Yeah.
a couple like they park up on the hill, but they're always just the generic like PS1 looking ass ones. I never see any
Yeah.
Yeah.
custom.
Even my like car friends are like, what the hell is this piece of shit?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
many blind spots. I was like, that's thank you. I had a truck. I know what it's like to have blind spots.
I
That
want to
has
get in a
even more.
vehicle and I want to mow down the flood from Halo 1.
Yeah, that's right. Um, but yeah, no, we also watched Casper, the Friendly Ghost, the movie. I'd never seen it, and there were so many
Wait, the
stars.
90s one with
Bill
Dan
Pullman.
Aykroyd's in there. Ghostbusters.
But yeah, Bill Pullman and Christina Ricci. Yeah, I saw that one.
yeah.
And there
Yeah.
were so many like celebrity guest stars in there. Like
What's his
Dan
name from
Dan Aykroyd from Ghostbusters showed up in the
yeah.
movie. He's like, solve your own problem, and then left. And then when they like messed with Bill Pullman, they made him look like a bunch of actors. Like he looked
Yeah,
like
the
he was
Clint Eastwood one?
Clint Eastwood and Mel Gibson, and that was actually them. They actually
Yeah.
got them for the movie. I was like, holy shit. And I turned
Dude,
to Tess and I was like, holy shit, babe, you knew I would like this.
I have that movie on VHS and it is one of my prized possessions.
Nice. But yeah, we watched that. We also watched Corpse Bride, another Tim Burton one. Adam's Family. We didn't watch Adam's Family Values, even though we both do like that movie. Um, we also did watch Shaun of the Dead. Um, what other
You-
movies did we watch? Because
We
we
watched.
watched quite a bit together, and I also showed her Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island and Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. And I think I told Ben this, and maybe even Jack, but the studio that made the Zombie Island, Witch's Ghost, Alien Invaders, Cyber Chase, those Scooby-Doo movies, those four, was the same studio that made Akira.
Okay. I can see
Yes.
Yeah,
that, yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
that.
Especially with Zombie Island, with how fluid those zombies, like as a little kid, those zombies creeped me out with how
Oh
fluid they
yeah.
moved.
Like this is what
I
happens when you give an anime studio, an American property. They make it awesome.
Especially an anime studio that was known for its body horror with the Akira movie.
Akira,
I
baby.
I
I
have
still need to see it all the way through.
I have a controversial statement.
Okay.
And my girlfriend is upset with me about this too. I have never seen Scooby-Doo Zombie Island.
Shame, for shame.
It,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, you.
I've seen every Scooby Doo movie.
It is
Same.
legitimately the Scooby-Doo
Every
Zombie Island is legitimately, I think, the best Scooby-Doo movie.
It is.
I will
Probably.
argue that Witch's Ghost
That's the one in
just having
that
Tim Curry in it.
Yeah,
okay.
it has the Hex Girls.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one with the Hex Girls? Okay, I've seen that one then.
Yeah, I showed
Um,
Tess that, and she really liked that one. She was
Oh,
like, I did
word.
like the first one, but I like this more. But so with Zombie Island, like, look at these zombies. Look at this. This is
Oh, they
terrifying.
were real.
Yeah, they were real. Like this is how you
Not a
like.
cat lady?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
they were the people responsible for the
there's
zombies.
cat people in Zombie
What
Island.
the fuck are the cats doing to zombies?
I don't.
It was
You know what? We'll save that for when you watch the movie yourself.
yeah,
yeah, we can't spoil everything for you.
Do witches
If I
ghost.
watch the movie.
No, I watched the movie. It's
You're
good.
gonna, you better.
But yeah, here are the Hex girls.
Yeah,
And
That
yeah.
witch scared the living Christ out of me as a child.
yeah, but which one's more terrifying, this one or like the actual witch ghost design?
The ghost, the costume ghost, not the actual ghost.
Yeah, because when you watch the when I showed Tess Witch's Ghost and when Ben Ravencroft, Tim Curry's character, I love you, Tim Curry, um like read through the book and like the flow of the animation and like the way he was posing and everything and she
Oh,
was like, "Okay, Mr. Anime." And I was like, "Well, babe, it was made by an anime studio. What do you expect?"
mm.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh
what was the third movie you mentioned in this? Because I remember this one, these two, and I remember the Cyber Chase one.
um
Isn't it Alien Invader? Yeah, with
Oh
yes.
yeah,
Alien
and then
Invaders, it's the one where Scooby and Shaggy like
yeah,
fall
I
in
remember that
love.
one.
It's
I
yeah.
I am convinced that that character and her dog are the perfect couple that they ever introduced for any Scooby-Doo media for Shaggy and Scoob.
I
Thank
agree.
Correct.
you for saying that. I
Yeah.
wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
But I think the best Scooby-Doo movie was The Witch's Ghost, but my all-time favorite growing up was this one.
Hold
And they
on.
want it all for the gold. All the
Wait, Alien
gold underneath the
Invaders?
aliens.
Alien Invaders is actually my least favorite one.
Yeah,
Really?
why is that?
Yeah. I think it's just because I just don't care for romance subplot sometimes.
My
That's
Like
fair.
favorite
Fair
Saber
enough.
Chase.
Yeah.
but like this one is my underrated favorite. This is it's not my favorite, but it's an underrated one for me. Like
Scooby Doo and the
and the
Cyber
Cyber
Chase for
Chase.
the PlayStation. My
Yeah,
favorite.
that's
Oh my
right.
God,
There was a game.
is this the one with
Joey
Gilbert Gottfried?
Baseball.
Is that weird bird thing?
No, that's a
No,
different
that's
one.
PBS.
PBS. I should know. I work
Gilbert
there.
got Gilbert Globfree.
Yeah, like that's the crazy thing. So like Zombie Island is the best one. Uh uh Witch's Ghost is the fan favorite. Alien Invaders is
Witch's
probably
Ghost is the hot one, honestly.
huh?
He's
Witch's
right.
Ghost is the hot friend.
Yeah, Alien Invaders is is the kind of forgotten one, and then the underrated one is Cyber Chase.
People hate it.
People hate Cyber Chase.
People hate it.
I don't hate it. I think it's kind of fun.
I love it. I kiss it on the forehead and call it a kid.
Yeah, like, but also here's the funny thing. Like with Cyber Chase, um, like the thing is, by the time they got to it, they went to digital coloring. So when you watch
Mm,
Alien Invaders and then you watch Cyber Chase, you can tell the
yeah.
difference in animation.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a change.
Yeah, where it looks less grainy and more 21st century y.
For
Like
real.
it doesn't feel as classic. It just
But
feels
not
weird.
but nothing competes to those two live action Scooby-Doo movies.
That's true. The
Perfect casting. That was
That's
like
true. Perfect casting. Like all of them perfect casting. Freddie
you're
Prince
pushing
Jr.
your luck, Scoob.
Freddie Prince Jr. got a Rozzie for Fred.
Mm,
That's unfair. I thought he was great. Did anybody watch the Cartoon Network
I
Scooby-Doo
remember that.
movies?
That movie's
Yeah.
nasty.
I remember that poster. I didn't see the movie though.
Mystery
That movie's
Begins.
nasty, dude.
Wasn't the person that was playing Velma in Lemonade Mouth on Disney Channel?
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah.
And Robbie Amell was Fred, and he's related to Stephen Amell, Mr. Oliver Queen, Green Arrow himself from
Mm.
Arrow.
Steve
And
McQueen, the Green Arrow.
but yeah, and I although we all agree Monsters Unleashed is probably the best of the bunch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I think it's fun and also the best jokes. I needed that. I needed that too. You're pushing your luck, Scoob. Have you seen the one where ever since Super Saiyan Shaggy became a thing, like someone edited like they after the second slap and when it gets to the pushing your luck Scoob, it like intensifies the voice, like they bring the
Yeah.
levels up and then the red eyes and a zoom in and says Like just like he's some sort of like Super Saiyan. It's like, oh no, Scooby made Shaggy angry. He's he's using 0.0000001% of his power. He's too. We got to get it
I,
down to zero.
I will say though, there is one point in the first movie that always 2 points that always make me laugh without hesitation. Is one when Shaggy and Scooby have the fart off,
Yeah.
and two when anytime that Scrappy was on camera. Not that I
Mm.
love Scrappy, but he was just terrifyingly ugly. That
Yeah.
thing deserves to live in the same universe as like
That
hyper
early
realistic
2000s CG,
Sonic.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm in the minority. Like, I grew up kind of liking Scrappy because I thought it was refreshing that there was a character that was like, monster. All right, come on, hand me a shotgun. Come on, come on. I could take this guy. Like, I think
Anytime
it's a little more refreshing. Like, it reminds me of the John Tron meme of like seeing a clown. He's like, oh, it's just a clown.
I
Like it.
definitely get that. I will say though, I maybe part of my hate for or my dislike for Scrappy Doo just comes from the meme of breaking news: Scrappy Doo found dead, shot in Chicago. Someone responding, probably gang related. You know?
Probably.
Was.
The mystery gang is hot on the streets.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
was
I mean,
actually
my
there.
personal favorite Scooby-Doo movie is Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster. That was the first one I ever saw, and I showed it to Tess. And I gotta show, I'll send some clips later on to you guys, but to me, Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster has like one of the most killer soundtracks in a Scooby-Doo movie. Like
Hmm.
almost all the songs are like a bop. I was like, as the kids say, these songs slap. Um,
The
Oh,
bussin'.
No cap.
I
Pog.
still don't understand slang. Is it just because I'm out of touch?
No, it's
Yeah, we're
because
getting
Gen
old.
Alpha
That
is
means you're
fucking
No,
getting old.
stupid.
no, I'm not out of touch. The children are.
Everyone else is wrong.
Everyone else is incorrect.
What's
Not
that
me.
Weird Al Yankovic song? Everything you know is wrong.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any like fun like stuff from childhood that they would watch during around this time? I know I
I
watched a
got
lot of
a
Disney Channel stuff.
I'm
I
gonna
got a
wiggle my
nostalgic
finger in
one
here.
that do you guys know of did you ever watch I know we all know Goosebumps, but did you ever watch R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour? Don't think about it.
I used to watch
Uh,
Yes.
that and what Tales from the Crypt and Creep Show.
I
Okay.
never saw Tales of the Crypt.
Tales from the
Me
Crypt was good, but this one always sticks in my mind from I know it was like a kids movie, but holy shit, it was a violent kids movie, especially that monster for that one. Like
I think I remember it too.
it was sort of like it reminded me of the Demogorgon from Stranger Things, where it splits itself in half. But the fact that they destroy the monster at the end by throwing its own blood on the monster, and the monster gets so frenzied that it literally devours itself from its two heads, that's crazy for a kids movie.
It's crazy. But yeah, another thing is like on remember the Hub? Like that was a thing that like Hasbro made. It was a TV channel, and what they did was they had R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour, and I watched a couple episodes of that. It was like one where like this family went to this hotel, and then all the adults had no kids, or they when they had kids, all of them were gone. So
Mm.
what they
The
did was
hotel's eating the kids.
oh yeah, they sent it into this picture frame and that would open into another dimension and then they would send their kids away. But the kids
Okay.
of like the main characters convince their parents, "Hey, let's not do this forever.
Hmm.
Please stop. I love you." And then
We
it's like,
need to
"Oh,
check
you're
out of
right.
the
We do
Hotel
love you.
California.
We got to get out of here." And then, the place burns down and then end
Mm.
of episode. And then another one was like, "Hey, I think aliens might be real." And then at the end, the boy is like, "Oh no, I think I'm being abducted by aliens." And it literally ends with him being abducted.
Mm. I
And
know the R.L. Stein always was good on like making a dark twist at the end.
Yeah, I mean before that he did like Fear Street. I never read Fear Street, but it was it was R.L. Stein before he did Goosebumps,
Mm.
where he like it wasn't good, but it was like more serious and
Yeah.
like
I will
oh
admit, Goosebumps was like pulpy. The fact that he had like 150 books in that series.
It always reminded me kind of similar, like, oh, as you go through them, much like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Captain Underpants, all those classic like childhood, early 2000s books. It's just so drawn out. You can tell with the laziness and like you said, pulpiness.
Yeah. I mean, but if you're selling for kids, makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
We're no longer the target audience for Goosebumps or Diary
oh
of a Wimpy Kid.
no.
fair point.
Although I
Um,
do kind of like the Goosebumps movie that came out a few years ago with Jack Black. That's a fun one
I
because like
didn't see that, but I tried watching the recent show with what's his name from Tusk, and yikes.
uh,
Yowzers, am I right, guys? It was rough.
I remember I didn't watch the second Jack Black movie of Goosebumps because originally Jack Black was not going to be in it because of scheduling conflicts. And then somehow they managed to sneak him into the movie for like a few minutes.
They
But like
CGI'd him.
no, they didn't. But he showed up in the movie. I didn't watch it, but I watched the clip, and he was there. He saw all of his monsters out, and he's like, "Oh, great, all of this again." And then he looked around, seeing werewolves, zombies, and whatnot. And he saw like a little red balloon go by a grate, and he was just like, "I knew I came up with that first." It's literally one of the best jokes could have ever made because in the first movie, uh, not Dylan O'Brien. It was like some other kid that it was some other kid at the time said like, "Hey, are you R.L. Stein?" He's like, "R.L. who? I don't know who that is." And he's like, "Yeah, probably right. All of his stories are so lame, so dumb, so cheesy. It's like seriously, dude, stop trying to be Stephen King." And then the guy like puts the brake on the car. He's like, "Listen to me, you little twerp. Stephen King wishes he was me. I have more books than him." And it's like, oh great, I just confessed I'm R.L. Stein. And Jack Black is so funny in that movie. I was like, for me, it was one of the things where I was like, oh wait, Jack Black's still acting. And then he was in Jumanji, and I feel like Jumanji was the thing that kind of revitalized his acting career. Because I felt
I
like
mean, I feel like he's always been consistent.
yeah, but I always
Yeah,
felt like he'd like dipped off the earth for a bit in
he did a lot
popularity.
of voice acting for a while. Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I will
Guys,
say the one Jack Black movie that I wouldn't say, well, the movie's bad. I wouldn't say his performance is bad, but the movie is Shallow Hal, and especially looking at it now, it's weird to watch.
it's a fat shame, fat
Yeah,
phobic
it's a fat shame
disaster.
joke for 2 hours.
It means that the only time like I watched this sketch comedy thing about like how like fat women comedy movies end up because and it was a like for women, it wasn't against women, and like one of the things they talk about is how it's like whenever it happens to women it's like what's her name from Pitch Perfect.
Rebel
Rebel
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah, it's like she gets smoked in the head, has a concussion, thinks she's sexy. Like it's like man literally cursed to see women not as they are. That's the only chance like plus size women have at romance. And it's you're like,
Wait. Are you talking about like when you're talking about one where someone gets hit in the head and they think they're beautiful?
yeah.
Oh no, that's Amy Schumer. That explains why it's so bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
because Rebel Wilson's actually a good actress. Oh,
oh no, yeah.
Yeah, I like Rebel Wilson. Uh, I don't know if this is gonna make my dad sound bad, but he always liked Rebel Wilson. He always thought she was funny. And he was just like, where the hell did all the funny fat people go? Like like because he grew up in the era of like John Belushi and Chris
Chris
Farley,
Farley.
John Candy. He was like,
Mhm.
and they
Oh,
all died or lost weight. It was like, she was funny, she was fat and she was funny. Now she's not fat and she's probably not funny anymore.
Mm.
It's classic dad. I mean,
That is a dad move.
but
Yeah.
also my parents have some interesting takes on some movies.
I hear my
Like,
dad saying that too.
like my mom, like I remember when I watched Scott Pilgrim versus the World years ago, and my mom saw a little bit of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and I was like, "Do you want to watch it with me?" And she's like, "No, I don't." Like I was just like, "Well, why do you not want to watch it?" And she's like,
Whoa.
"I've seen a few minutes of this movie, and all I know is that anyone that loves Scott Pilgrim versus the World has clearly never been with a woman."
Yeah.
That's what my mom has
That's a
said.
good read. That's a good read, Miss Perillo. That's a good
Yep.
read.
Isn't that James's favorite movie?
Uh,
Uh,
I want to wiggle my finger in here for a
okay,
moment
go
because
ahead.
I want to loop back. I didn't get the chance to mention a few like movies I watch around this time of the year because I don't know what happened. Time blipped or something, and I haven't really watched anything like Halloween wise this year,
Me neither.
except for Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. But I watched that for my birthday in September, and then recently I've watched the Frankenstein Chronicles. Like in the month of October, I've watched the Frankenstein Chronicles with Sean Bean. Heavily recommend.
Okay.
Um, Over the
Does he
Garden Wall.
die? I feel bad for Sean Bean. He just dies in everything he's
I
in.
can't tell
Imagine
you.
being typecast as the dead dude.
I
Boromir,
I can't tell you he
Stark.
dies because that would be untrue, but I also can't say he lives. It depends on what you define as lives.
Yeah.
He's a
But take
zombie.
it with a grain of salt. The name is Frankenstein Chronicles.
Mm.
Um, but I just finished rewatching Over the Garden Wall, and I got that on
I forgot to do
VHS,
that.
and it's one of my prized possessions now. Um, but I completely blipped and realized I hadn't watched anything. So the other night I watched the 1930s 31 Frankenstein movie.
Oh,
And
I
the
still gotta
My
Universal
see
one.
that.
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, Boris Karloff.
Dude
Just tell
fucking
him
kills
Boris
it.
Beautiful.
sent you. He did the mesh.
I mean, I was more of a Humphrey Bogart person, but that's
No,
me.
I will
that's you.
argue that The Bride of Frankenstein is a better movie than the first 1931 Frankenstein.
I'm more of a classic guy personally, not to bash that other one because I liked it. I had a good time with it, but I feel like the first one, it's just so novel and Colin Clive. I mean, I know he's in both, but he really eats in that first one.
Hmm.
Oh no, absolutely. One movie I am really looking forward to, and might get me back to theaters, even though I don't want to pay that much money for a ticket when I can just be patient and watch it in streaming. That's some ramble for another time. Um, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
I can't
I am
wait.
so
Oh, he's
incredibly.
gonna make one? I didn't know that.
Oh,
It's on its way.
it's like they're done filming.
Oh,
Like
wow.
so based off of what I've heard or seen, it sounds like it's based off of the original 1930s movies. I'm mainly the book fan, but it looks like they're really interpreting a lot of stuff from the book because there's like a whole set you can see it online, what seems to be a ship in the Arctic, which is the beginning of the book. Um,
Hmm.
that and I'm really excited about Robert Edgar's Nosferatu.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we gotta go to the movies to see that one.
Yes,
Yep, I'm
Thank you.
down.
deal.
Yeah,
I'll
but does
drive
wait,
down
does
3 hours just to
wait
do.
wait, doesn't that come out on Christmas?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Although why don't we
Wild release date for a
although
movie like
why
that.
don't we go a couple of days after Christmas?
Yeah, I'm down.
I know I'll be down that weekend probably. So
I'm
Yeah.
like butthurt right now because I'm looking at the fucking Ghostbusters donuts that Krispy Kreme is selling, and there's no way for me to get them unless I drive to like the Bronx.
No
Yeah.
Krispy Kremes around here.
No,
that
I I finally had like a Dunkin' Donuts spider donut today. Like I never had one of those before.
Wow.
Can you
Like I
call
know it's
yourself a New Englander if you've never had one of those?
Yes.
yeah, like it's weird. I don't know. Like I never did it because I assumed they had like a jelly that held it together, and I was like, I don't like jelly.
Oh no, it's just the
Mm.
frosting.
Yeah, and then I
If
had it, I
you
was
if
like,
you
okay,
don't
no
like
jelly.
the jelly, just imagine it's a bug. You're eating the exterior of the donut, and the inside's the nice gooiness.
And it's like
Side
Sarah Jessica Parker in Hocus Pocus when she's just like eating the thing.
Yeah.
Ooey gooey
side
cheese.
question for you guys: how much money would it cost you to eat like a freeze-dried tarantula?
Is it like prepared?
Yeah,
I
Am
don't
I
know.
allowed to add salt or spice?
I'd probably just try it. I mean,
sure.
if you gotta give me money,
Okay.
give me money. But
That's the way I was saying. Like someone asked me that the other day. I'm like, I I could get paid to do that. Like,
I'd give it a nibble.
mm,
Hopefully it's can it be de-haired? Because I don't know if I'd want to have it if it's hairy.
preferably,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, no, never mind. I'm not going to say that on YouTube. I was gonna. I'll mention that
Oh,
afterwards.
All
oh,
right.
dang it.
after
But
hours content.
that'd be fun.
After hours.
I want to hear that.
Yeah. What are some of your guys' favorite like uh TV specials or Halloween specials that you used to like watch
I
as
got
like
one.
kids? Okay, go ahead.
My only like Halloween tradition. So one I remember very distinctly growing up was there's that Disney puppet Winnie the Pooh show. It's called The Book
Oh,
of Pooh. There
oh
was
yeah.
a Halloween special for that. I remember that a billion years ago. I swear to God, somewhere in the bread loaves of my psyche, there's a Wiggles Halloween episode. But what I
Really?
what I really like to focus on, actually no, because Australian people don't celebrate Halloween. They tell you to go fuck yourself. And
Mm.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I'll
um,
look that up after and I'll text you if that's real or not. Because then again, maybe they filmed it here in the United States.
but what I watch every year still to this day is the Halloween episode of Bear in the Big Blue House.
I was just about to mention that.
Oh, I totally
Yeah.
forgot there
Yeah.
was one. It's
Uh,
been years.
It's a really, really good one. And
Anything there in the Blue House is
uh
Okay.
spot on. Mwah, you know.
I really need a Bear in the Big Blue House stuffed animal.
Imagine like a
Yes.
life-sized bear stuffed animal,
I
so
would
you could
just
just
want a
like hug it when you go to
costume.
bed.
Just want a
Cut it open,
costume.
climb inside it, sleep.
Dude, I would love to like sleep in a bear costume and like scare people.
There's around by Brown, there's a big bear statue that has a trapdoor on the backside that you can climb inside, and people go in there and they hotbox
The Brazen Bull be like,
It's
it.
the opposite of the New England Tech Tiger.
Yeah, no, it's a big like polyester statue. It's not like a bronze cast.
In-
Ah,
instead we just
Yeah.
It's
stroke that
huge
guy
too. It's like
off.
like 2.5 stories tall, probably.
oh, ow.
Next time I'm around there, I'll take a picture and send it to you guys. But it's
Yeah.
funny looking. I
We
hope it's still
stroke
there. Actually, I haven't been over there and like I haven't been over there since I moved up here. I don't know if it's actually still there, but
we stroke that other guy off, the New England Tech Tiger.
Mm.
put a sweater on him.
That man has a penis.
I if we're talking like original, like nostalgic stuff we used to like to watch as a kid, um, I'm coming in with one statement, what I used to like to watch, and another um complicated statement. I always loved watching Mickey's House of Mouse, the Mickey's House of Villains
Mm.
episode, but I
Mm.
can't find it anywhere.
You can't find House of Mouse anywhere. Disney won't release it.
Fuck you, Disney.
They also won't
Um,
release I'm in the Band either. And I'm like, oh, come on.
yeah,
Bring me
I
back.
can watch Can of Soup on Disney Plus.
I can watch like every other
I'm
fucking
glad someone recognized that.
every other Disney Channel original movie on the face of the planet. I really like Halloween Town.
I've
Mm.
never seen it.
Ooh,
That was
yeah.
was
Yeah,
my
Zach's
conflicting
never
thing.
seen it.
You're
I've
gonna
never
have to.
seen any of the Halloween Town movies.
You're gonna have to.
But Carrie Fisher's mother is in those movies.
She's the grandmother, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No shit.
I didn't know if that would give you incentive or not.
I
Eh.
didn't know that.
But yeah,
I've
like
seen it.
Halloween Town, Twitches, I'm gonna try to squeeze that in. I
Mm,
mean, granted, me and Tess might do like a whole day of like that on Friday because maybe we might not get a lot in tomorrow.
okay.
Because we'll do like Halloween plus. That's what we'll call it. Of
Does
just
anyone remember Scary Godmother?
Yes.
I
Yes.
It
don't.
looks so janky, but it's so
Cartoon.
Oh,
cool.
Scary Godmother looks like a piece of shit, but I do
Oh,
remember as a
yeah.
kid liking it.
The
Dude, it
jank
was
really
so
makes
fun
it.
to watch. It was like some of those frames were like those creepy frames of Misadventures of Flapjack. Like
Yeah,
creepy
I
that
have some
level.
images. How do I share my screen here?
Oh, hold on. Let me give you.
Yeah, give me
Uh,
permission.
go ahead.
Cartoon Network had Monster House. That was always
Yeah,
that
yes,
freaked
that's
Oh
me
yeah.
out.
actually, you know what's probably going on Disney Channel right now, and we're not watching it. They're probably doing reruns of My Babysitter's a Vampire.
I remember that.
That's actually a good show. That's one of the few shows where on Disney that where I'd be like, yeah, that was a good show.
Honestly, I would have watched around this time. I'd be watching the 31 Days of Halloween on ABC Family.
Mm,
Hubby
I
Halloween.
I sadly didn't do that. I should have
There we
done
go.
that.
This is
Oh yeah, that kid.
Oh, I don't.
Jimmy.
I think I
His name's
do.
I,
Jimmy. Scary
kind of
Jimmy.
looks
Godmother
like
2. The
what's his
Revenge of
name from
Jimmy.
Toy Story? What's his name? The kid next door.
Sid.
Yeah.
Yeah. God,
Let's
this
go
movie was
play.
jank.
Yeah, Scary Godmother. Is it
It's based
anywhere?
off like some kids. I don't know what it's on, but it's
It's
based off
based
some
off
like
kids'
kids books.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cute.
The,
They look
this whatever this monster's name was.
He was so nice.
Hmm.
He was like the Sully slash Eduardo of the team.
Yeah.
He looks nice.
I
Um,
didn't like the werewolf.
The werewolf, the one that's in the Hawaiian shirt. If I can
Yeah.
find that. I like this guy, the guy that was the skeleton.
Yeah.
All skeletons are good.
yeah.
If
Another one.
anything that like childhood media has taught us, it's skeletons are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny
Versus Dark
is,
Souls.
yeah, maybe even Jason and the Argonauts. Um, but so another one that I watch, uh, it's called Girl versus Monster. It stars Olivia Holt, and she basically fights her demons. And the movie actually holds up way better than I thought it was. I was like, wait, there's a character arc, there's arcs, there's acting, there's editing, I mean the CGI is terrible, but I was like,
Mm.
is this a 10 out of 10 movie and I didn't know about it? Like when you watch a movie and you're just like, yeah, whatever, and it's like this is cheaply put together, but am I watching a masterpiece and I didn't know it? Like how Over the Hedge is a masterpiece and no one knows it.
Yeah.
Over the Hedge is a masterpiece, and no one
I
knows it except for me.
Does anyone know about what I, I keep doing to my girlfriend?
No.
What?
I'm so glad you mentioned it because this is a funny story. Um, Catherine had never seen Over the Hedge, and so I just
Oh,
threw it on one of the nights. I think I was just cooking or something, and she's like, "This is god awful. Can we change it?" And so I changed it, and then later we went to put on something different, and she was like looking at her phone, and I threw on Over the Hedge, and waited to see how long it would take her to notice it was Over the Hedge. And then I've done that a few times too. Like one time I'm like, "Hey, I'm having trouble sleeping. It's really humid and I'm uncomfortable. Is it okay if I just put on some white noise or something?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure, do whatever you got to do." And I put on Over the Hedge.
how great I am.
She's like, "Zach, go sleep on the couch."
Yeah,
This is not white noise.
I'm the man looking grim right now.
I
Pretty
think the
soon we'll
point
be
that she made it to was
laughing
when
about it.
I think the point she got to was when the raccoon's trying to sneak his arm into the vending machine, And I'm like, oh, just wait until you meet the Verminator. And she's like, who? The Verminator.
The Verminator.
Yes,
Wait,
the Verminator.
The Verminator.
Verminator.
Yeah. The Verminator. I love him so much. I also just love Thomas Hayden Church.
Mhm.
Let's pull it back a level.
Like, no,
Uh,
hold on. Let's go one place real quick. I have to do it. The Verminator.
Verminator.
What I look like? What I look like in
Look
this
at
fucking
it.
suit right now.
Look at it.
That
You
is
know what- you know what's
peak male
disappointing?
performance.
Oh my god, someone made him in Hero Forge.
Prepare for a lot of
Get her!
Someone-
She's getting away.
Wait, you're telling me right now that someone sat down in an afternoon and decided on Hero Forge while making custom characters, I'm gonna make the Verminator. Like
Queen,
down there in the bot in the
Lafont-
middle, right there, next to the DVD.
Go up to
Wait, hold on. Where?
that.
Up
Yep.
Oh my god.
My original D&D character. And then you're like, no, this is the Verminator. And you go, okay. And then they pull one out and it's just like a Happy Meal McDonald's toy of Vector.
Oh shit.
They're like, this is my new sorcerer.
No, if anything, he'd have to be a
It's
swarm
suspiciously
swarm
discolored.
keeper.
I don't know. I never got to use this token I made.
Oh. Oh wait, what is that? Let me see. Let me
Oh,
oh,
that's cool.
cool.
Sacred relic of a cursed man printed on a token.
Ben,
Yeah.
imagine you pull that out in a game and then all of a sudden everything in the room smells like milk.
Gee.
By the way, another thing that was on for like I guess Disney Junior and Disney Channel was
House Disney.
Alvin and the Chipmunks meet the werewolf and the Wolfman and Frankenstein.
Mm.
Do you guys remember that?
I never saw
Yeah.
those, but I saw the live
Oh,
action
dude.
one, and anytime anyone mentions Alvin and the Chipmunks, I think of the Ian Hawke memes.
Yeah, no, I mean, in all fairness, Ian Hawke is
I think he could go
Xavier.
1-to-1 with Shaggy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Les Grossman from Tropic
Do
Thunder.
you think you can
And-
handle the Shagster?
Yeah, so this was them meeting the Wolfman.
I had the DVD, but I never ever watched it. What the fuck happened to Theodore? Why does he turn into a werewolf?
Doesn't
Oh.
he get scratched or something?
Yeah, he gets scratched, and then there's
It's always Theodore.
Frankenstein.
Something happens to him.
yeah, poor Theodore.
Frankenstein. The only reason that Frankenstein does that is because of what happens in the third Universal Frankenstein movie, where Igor switches his brain into the Frankenstein monster, and because he didn't consider blood type differences, the blood type of his body and brain and everything doesn't work with the eyes of the body, so he just goes blind. So he's just like fumbling around with his hands out like this, and that's
Yeah.
why Frankenstein's hands are out ever.
Poor
Yeah.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did not know that. But yeah, there was that. I also like last week watched don't laugh at me. Pooh's Heffalump Halloween.
Yes.
So, oh, you guys remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, where Lumpy's first Halloween and Rue, like the only time we ever see a Heffalump.
That kid was so fucking cute.
Oh wait, no, wait. Except for the original, the Heffalumps and Woozles song.
Yeah, that's true. But we also canonically and Winnie the Pooh.
We never
we've-
actually saw them. It was all like superstition until we actually
true.
met.
Yeah,
It
no,
was all a dream.
and to this day, still canon, we have never seen a woozle. Yeah, a real woozle.
I
They
feel
don't-
like that's like a word that you could use to describe like someone who's just like a slacker and down on their luck and running their lives.
Yeah,
It's just fucking rabbit. I want to kill that motherfucker.
yeah.
wanna
Rabbits. Can we all admit Rabbit's such a
Beat
fucking
rabbit to death
asshole?
with a
Yeah.
fucking hammer.
Rabbit, like, and I understand, like, he knows more than the others, but I was like, but you need to act like that.
That and owl.
Owl's an idiot.
Yeah.
Owl's a sweet idiot. He thinks he thinks he's him, but
Craig Ferguson voiced him in one animated thing.
I
Craig.
still find it funny that the voice of Winnie the Pooh is uh the guy.
Hondo Anaka.
Not just that, but the voice of Rasputin in Anastasia. Not the voice, the
Yeah.
singing voice.
Oh yeah, that's right, Jim Cummings. I forgot about that. But yeah, Pooh's Heffalump Halloween movie. It's cute, but kind of creepy at some parts. Like
Yeah.
they show the witch and in like the shadows when it's actually just Kanga, but it like looks creepy and the art design is really like scary. But what's funny is they didn't have enough room to fill. Like the art design here is like really creepy and eerie, but they also didn't have enough time to fill. So what they did was they implemented Pooh's Halloween special from the 90s, which aired on ABC. No, not ABC, CBS, called Boo to You Too, Winnie the Pooh. And they included that, which is 20 minutes long. And they incorporated it into the movie and cut out the narration from the original special.
Okay.
The narration in the original special was narrated by John Rhys Davies. And in Pooh's Heffalump Halloween movie, the narrator in that movie is what's his name? David Ogden Stiers. Jumba from Lilo and Stitch.
Wow. Thank you
Uh,
for giving a name to a voice.
yeah.
Experiment 626. We need to go get the fucking Fortnite cards. I don't know.
That is
No,
one of
no,
the
it's Pleakley. We need to go
remakes.
get the Fortnite cards. Because
That
Jumbo and
is
Pleakley, they were like, yeah.
that is one of the few Disney remakes I am really looking forward to.
I'm curious how that's gonna go.
It's gonna be a
Hmm.
mess. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Also, Lilo and Stitch kind of had like a scary episode.
Stitch has a glitch. What an awful movie.
I
Stitch Has a Glitch isn't that bad, but the
What's
biggest
the name
problem
of the yellow dude, the yellow Stitch dude?
Mr.
Yeah, I
Sandwich.
know
Oh,
who you're talking about.
He ate a
And he
lot
can
of
talk.
sand.
He was like
they,
Meowth, right? You spoke English.
they gave him a
Yeah,
name in the third movie they did. It was his. They called him Reuben. He didn't have a
yeah.
name for a long. He didn't have a
Mm-hmm.
name for a long time,
Because he
and
was
then
experiment 625.
5 or 6 to
He was one
yeah.
either above
I
or
think it
below
was.
Stitch, but I
I
don't
think it
remember
was.
which one.
I think it was below Stitch. But yeah, like he just ate a lot of sandwiches
Oh,
and
right. He
voiced by
was
Rob.
below Stitch
That
because Jumbo made him, and then Jumbo's like, "Oh, this one talks too much," and then he made Stitch.
Uh, let's see, 6 to 5. Let's see. Yes, here
Yeah.
he is. He's canonically named Reuben because he just makes sandwiches. And what's funny is, like, I think he's voiced by Rob Paulson.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah,
By
yeah,
Jimmy's mom.
yeah. No, I love Rob Paulson.
Oh, hey, look, there's the Flash game where you can put a sandwich together.
Let's play it right now.
No, you can't play it. Flash
No
is
more
dead.
Flash anymore. Flash is gone.
You can go look up a video if you want, but you don't need to. Um, I really like David Lynch, Silent Hill. I play a lot of horror games. Like I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight recently because it's got a Halloween event. And it's been pretty fun. I'm okay at the video game.
Ben, did you watch the new Alien movie?
Alien Romulus. Oh my God. Why didn't I talk about Alien Romulus? It
You
was
like it?
so good.
I heard some mixed reviews. I haven't seen it. I've been kind
Anyone
of combing through all of the Alien movies, then getting up to it. But
If anyone who has flack with that movie can go suck a dozen eggs down their throat without chewing, okay? Because like fucking A,
tell
dude.
them on Letterbox.
Like the first 40 minutes of that movie are just like a Houdini like PowerPoint presentation. Like it's like 10% of that movie's real.
Yeah,
Like it's spectacular and it looks so good. And then the plot gets really freaky. It starts playing around like it's like Alien 1.
hmm
Then it starts they throw in the pulse rifle and it starts feeling like aliens. and the whole time they're playing with like all these other different new themes, and then by the third act they're kind of playing around with their own stuff, and they have this new xenomorph thing. I don't want to get into too much of its detail. If you look it up, you can if you want, but it looks spectacular. And the whole time I was in the movie theaters, I was screaming and squirming and flailing like a little girl, because I was like, just I love when they do new stuff, because it's like nothing's ever gonna capture like Alien being terrifying again more than them throwing another new monster at us.
What's funny is now I think Alien and Predator should retire as franchises.
It should come back.
Because
No,
we got Prey and that was great. I was like, finally, a good Predator movie. Stop.
no.
Just it's like when you're gambling.
Cold take.
You've gambled all your cards.
No.
Quit
You
while
go
you're
any
ahead,
further, you're gonna possibly lose everyone.
No, fuck you, fuck around, find out, man.
No,
I
no,
need
love dude,
more.
I love Alien and Predator, but I
you-
can't keep having Alien and Predator be diminished every time, especially if like Ridley Scott's involved in one of them.
We don't need him. We don't need him. We don't need him anymore. We didn't need him for the last 2 or 3 movies. We can get rid of him. We can live without him. And then you know what's even better? You play the video games. And then guess what? They make an Alien Isolation.
We can
And guess
make
what?
the galaxy the way it should be.
The guy who worked
My
on
new
Prey,
empire.
the guy who worked on Prey said he wants to work on an Alien versus Predator movie, and the guy who worked on Alien Romulus said they should let him do it.
Okay, fine. As long wait, so both directors want to work with each other?
Yeah.
Okay, then they should work with each other on the next movie and get the screenwriters of both movies to work together.
Do you know what 1v1 I would pay so much money to see?
What?
Predator versus Boba Fett. Like
Mm.
Empire Strikes Back, top tier, top of his game, Boba Fett.
Yes.
Every Predator is at the top of their game.
'Cause, speaking of Predator, and recently in Marvel, because of the Disney acquisition of Fox, Disney now owns the Predator. And
Disney
so
owns
that,
everything. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Disney owns Alien and the Predator.
and it's
Wow.
miraculous that we got good movies out of that.
Wait, Harvey Weinstein never worked for Disney.
I was just about to make a joke like that. I was like,
Let's-
man, they hired that guy back for that wrote the first season of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh yeah.
Oh
he's back.
no. Wait, is he really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
the same guy that sadly did that horrible stuff to Drake Bell worked for Disney Channel and wrote for Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I know.
Dan Schneider. Yeah.
No,
It's not Dan, Brian Peck. That's his name.
Yeah.
I looked at his picture and like you ever have that look of someone where you look at them and you're like, oh, you definitely look like a predator.
Yeah.
What's weird is he didn't quite look like one, but you know what he also kind of looks like? He looks like Phil Swift from
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
commercials.
Lex, I am sorry to disappoint you. One of his last movies he ever worked on was Bedtime Stories with Adam Sandler.
Wait,
So-
really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
All over, dude.
Well, look, I watch it for Adam Sandler.
I'm
It's
sorry I
like-
got you that DVD. I didn't know.
That's okay. Hey, me and Tess watched Big Fat Liar a couple months back, and we did not know that was written by Dan Snyder.
A hubby Halloween.
Wait, Hubie Halloween?
No, it's not. I just wanted to
Oh,
say it.
okay. I was about, well, I mean, that movie's not good. That movie is not
What?
good. Hubie Halloween, that movie's annoying.
It's the best Halloween movie ever made.
I beg to differ.
But yeah, what's funny, like I will say briefly about the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, that one of the episodes I like to rewatch of like the Disney Channel bunch is Room Room 613.
Yeah, where
Like,
they're all dying off.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
he's Blanky.
And And then at the end of it, the lady comes out from the room and she's like, "Hey, is this your blanket?" And she's like, and they're like, "Oh, thanks." And he's like, "Yeah, no problem. Have a good day." And then she walks through the wall.
Hmm.
So it's revealed that like she's actually real. By the way, I looked up what that actress did. I was like, "Oh, I guess she's done like a couple things here and there." But in like 2020, she died.
Mm.
So now she is a ghost. So it's kind of fucked up.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
that's crazy shit.
Yeah, and she was good in that Sweet Life episode. I also rewatched Crash and Bernstein's Halloween episode. I like that show because it's like funny when it's like not funny when it's trying to be funny, and then funny when it's trying to be funny, and it's like this both funny and not funny show. It's this paradox of a show that I just can't explain. Like I don't know. I don't know. And maybe I'm the only one here,
They made him
but
into a
I mean,
pinata.
I feel that
yeah,
way
that's where
about you as
Pinata.
well, so I get you.
Yeah, not to mention that you know, like I watched a lot of those shows growing up. Like Disney Channel, I wasn't much of a Nickelodeon kid. I watched a little Nickelodeon here and there. Like I would watch it for Monster House around this time. Um or Cartoon No, it was Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network, and I'll get into that later. But yeah, like Shake It Up had a couple of ones. Dog with a Blog had a couple of ones. Zack and Cody. Where's this Waverly Place have one?
They
I
must
don't
have.
know, but I
They
know.
Yeah,
must
they
have.
I
did.
mean,
Yes, yes.
you should consider that movie where they all forget each other a Halloween movie because boy is that terrifying.
What,
Yeah, that would be
Freaky?
terrible. Yeah, and
No,
Steve
never mind, not Freaky
Valentine's in
Friday.
that one.
The
Um,
Simpsons. They do a lot of spooky stuff.
yeah,
Mm.
Treehouse of Horror. I watched only like one Treehouse of Horror, I think. 'Cause it was the one where it was the aliens that were coming down. They're like, "We're here to be friends with you," and then
Oh
the
yeah.
Simpsons are like, "Oh no, they're gonna eat us!" And then it like they move the dust off the book that says how to cook humans, and it says for humans. It's like, but what about this? Bake for humans appropriately. It's like it just so I remember that one.
That one's so good where it's like it's all just circumstantial. They're actually really down to earth.
And then they're just like, "You're assholes," and then kick them off the ship.
That's the best part because it's like that's 200% what would happen.
Yeah.
I've got
And
a I've got an alien based Halloween movie to throw in the ring here.
mhm.
The Jimmy Neutron movie.
Ah, yes. When
I
they go
wouldn't consider
to
that
Eggtopia.
Halloween.
I'd consider it like a
But
Halloween movie.
no, you know what I would consider Halloween about Jimmy Neutron? It's that sleepover episode
Which
Where
one?
they go into Carl's dream and he dreams about the lima bean.
no, I was gonna say the one where
Pizza.
yeah, the pizza. Where he's like a
Oh, yeah.
pizza maker and scary time storyteller and pillow maker, and then they all had like dreams inside of dreams inside of dreams, and then turns out the scary pizza had a dream about frightening children, and then his wife is next to him in bed, and he's just like, "Honey, there's no such thing as children. Go back to bed." I was like, "Okay."
It's like that one episode of SpongeBob with the dreams.
Yeah. Oh,
Mm. In
SpongeBob has
Gary's
a good
dream, he's like sophisticated.
yeah, SpongeBob has a good Halloween episode.
Mhm.
and the
Uh,
and the best one of "Uh, don't tell me, no, don't tell me, no, don't tell me, don't tell me I got it, don't tell me I got it, don't tell me." Okay, tell me.
I'm a ghost.
Yeah. Oh, it's just my brain. Oh.
the wear and tear on
Yeah.
Tarantino's voice.
Mm.
But yeah, like just a lot of like specials like that. And I've rewatched a couple of cartoons like Spectacular Spider-Man apparently has like a Halloween episode.
Crazy.
And a Christmas episode too, I guess.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, I guess I never quite associated that. I guess I missed those episodes when I was a kid. Um,
Is the season to be Spider-Man?
I guess you could count a couple of the Justice League episodes as like horror, maybe the Dr. Destiny ones,
Mm.
where Dr. Destiny goes into like their minds and tries to frighten them. You could probably count that.
How about everything that happened to Baxter Stockman in the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon?
Are
That
you?
dude fucking melted.
I didn't see it. I didn't see the
Ugh.
2003 cartoon.
Dude, that
Never
shit
watched.
keeps me freaked out perpetually because it's like every time every time he tried to like use science to fix him, it got worse, where it just basically became he was just like a head in a fluid.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying
Oh,
to think. Did Victorious or iCarly have any good ones? I didn't watch them enough.
I think Victoria's had like a clip show where all of them were sharing like they did like little um uh what do you call them? Like little shorts where each person was getting scared around the school.
mm.
But I don't remember more detail than that.
I
I've done.
mean, another one that I lost my train of thought. What were you saying, Zach?
Oh no, another thing I recommend from Cartoon Network, on the Adult Swim side of things. Um, I forget when it aired, but Opal. It's a short film made by Jack Stauber.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I'm not familiar
and
with it.
it is incredibly eerie. It's all about child neglect, but it's. I always watch it around Halloween after I saw it too. It just gets me in the. I may be a little
Yes.
messed up, but it gets me feeling empty.
I get that. No, I'm gonna be on fumes tomorrow.
Mm.
Yeah.
All
I'm not.
gas, no brakes.
I'm going into work tomorrow, and I'm fully convinced I'm going to be the only one, not in my office, but on campus, dressed up.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it's just like everything's been dead, so I'm just expecting to. It's supposed to be 77 degrees. I'm dressed in ripped jeans, a flannel, a cardigan, a t-shirt, a wig, possibly a hat, walking around in a building that is 95 degrees.
You just gotta strip it one layer at a time as you're working.
Good
You know what?
grief.
You know what we gotta check out? Like maybe next Halloween we'll watch this together. But I have never seen Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Dude, it's so good. We need to
Uh
watch that one and um Young Frankenstein if you haven't seen that one.
Oh, I've seen Young
that
Yeah.
one's
Frankenstein, but I
my
saw it a
favorite.
long time ago.
Um
I noticed that hump on your shoulder. What hump?
She just passed away. What was her name? Terry.
No, Terry Gar's
Yeah.
still alive.
No, she just
No,
passed
she
away.
she just
no,
passed
Wait,
away yesterday.
just died today,
what?
yesterday or today, yeah.
Yeah, we reported on it at work.
Um
Wait,
yeah,
Terry Gar is gone? Holy
Yeah.
Yeah,
shit.
passed away yesterday. Yep.
Jesus Christ. I was just watching something with her in it. I was watching Aloha Scooby-Doo
yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and she was the mayor of the town in um Hawaii. And I was like, where's her voice from? She's someone famous. And I looked at the credits and I was like, Terry Gar. Oh my God. Hey, from Close Encounters and Young
Mhm.
Frankenstein. Wait, who was
Mm.
she in Young Frankenstein again? I can't remember. Was she the assistant or the bride?
I think she was what's her name? Starts with a T.
I don't know. So this is shocking. I did not know that she died. This saddens
Sorry, we
me.
had to break the news over your podcast.
That's it's okay. I don't Inga. She was Inga.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, like that's so crazy. Wow. Another one died. Like what's crazy is in that movie too, Mario Lopez is in Aloha Scooby-Doo and he's a surfer guy.
Mm.
And a salesman who sells like wiki tiki charms to ward off evil spirits is voiced by Adam West.
Mm.
TV's Adam West.
Yeah, I watch like the behind the scenes of it, and every now and then I think of this and it brings me joy. And it's like of Adam West behind like the recording booth as that character from Aloha Scooby-Doo, where he just has his hands up going back uh swaying back and forth, being like, "Get your wiki tiki charms now." It just brings such joy thinking about it.
I always loved him as Catman in Fairy Odd Parents.
Yes,
Mm.
that was
Yeah,
great. With Unfairly Odd Parents, they had like a Halloween episode.
pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty. I'm sure they
Aren't they
did. I can't think
still
of it.
going?
Huh?
Isn't it still going?
No, they canceled it.
I remember they released something recently where like Poof was grown up.
Yeah, his name's
Really?
Perry now.
Yeah, no, there's a new
Perry
show.
Winkle.
It's insane.
They're no longer Timmy's fairies. They got new kids now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because Timmy's like an adult, isn't he?
Yeah, it's weird.
he's an
Remember
adult
when they did that
man.
live action movie where Drake Bell played?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What? No, I don't remember that. That
I
totally
remember
happened.
those. I didn't mind them growing up. But so and Scott Baio was Foop at one point.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
was like, that's funny.
I always loved.
Um, yeah. What's another one that I was just about to bring up that was like, this is a good one for Halloween. We're talking about Fairly Odd Parents, a Halloween episode that probably did it.
Nintendo's making a smart device app just so you can stream or download music from fucking Nintendo games. They made their own fucking Spotify. What the hell?
Hey, it's another money grabbing scheme by
Yeah.
Nintendo. What a surprise!
Yeah. There's one more that I gotta mention before we like close out because I was like I think we need to close out in a bit.
Yeah, we've been
Uh
recording for hour 30 already.
yeah. So
I got
let me
50.
so let me ask you guys this. And I guess we could count this as Halloween. I haven't watched this in years. And I guess I should watch this around Halloween. Do you guys remember the Batman cartoon show?
Yeah, which one?
The one on Warner
So
Brothers.
it
Four kids.
was made from the same people that made Jackie Chan Adventures.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
So I got it pulled up right here.
Okay.
So they had this direct-to-DVD movie called Batman versus Dracula. And this was the
Oh,
style.
I remember this. Yeah.
Oh, yep. Yep. I
This
remember this one
movie
now.
was legitimately scary. Like, holy shit, dude. Like
It's pretty cool.
like
All the stuff that happens,
it's
Batman and Dracula.
it's fucking terrifying. And, Tom Kenny is the Penguin and Michael Kevin Michael Richardson is Joker in the show.
Mm.
And this was a make or break thing for people about the show.
Yeah,
People
it was
called
great
him
for me.
Monkey Joker because he was very monkey like.
It did remind me very much of what I imagine a court jester fool
Yeah.
Yeah,
is.
with the way the hair is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like him looking like a vampire, it was freaking scary, dude. Like it's horrifying. I'm gonna show Tess this in a couple of days.
Bro,
Like
imagine being smited like that, where you're a vampire with buck teeth.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Speaking of Batman stuff, Lex, have you finished the Caped Crusader?
I've not yet. I got to.
I I really liked a lot of aspects of that show, but the last episode, I'm not sold on. I recently
Uh,
watched the last episode, and they do like a Joker reveal at the end, kind of.
oh, okay. Well,
And
at least they held off on it in the first season.
exactly.
I'll take it. Because
Yeah.
I gotta recommend you guys this for like it's kind of creepy but kind of cool. Batman Earth 1. So it's DC did this thing where they were like, how about like Batman of today? Like more contemporary, like they did with the Ultimate Universe with Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate X-Men and
Absolute Batman now.
yeah,
Or the Batman.
Absolute Batman is very good. I've read it. And Absolute Wonder Woman. It's cool. I'll talk to you guys about that possibly on a different episode. Um, where all of us are together. So we so there was a thing where it was Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, who's my favorite Superman artist, created a Batman book together. Batman Earth 1 Volume 1, where it was a graphic novel. There are no chapters, there's no issues, it's just one big thing that you can read. And then they did Volume 2, and then it took like 6.5 years to get to Volume 3. And
Mm.
Volume 1 and 2 are good, 3, not so much. But so Volume 1, the villain is the Penguin.
Mm.
No hint to Joker at all.
So cool.
And
Good.
but although there is something kind of fucked up, like there's a character called the Birthday Boy. He's basically like a big enforcer dude, and he wears like a potato sack over his head with eyes and like a little birthday hat. And
Mm.
he seemingly kills and, does things to little girls in like a little girl's room, and he
Hey,
brings
Matt.
out a cake and makes them blow out the candle
Mm.
for whatever. And it's like the darkest it ever goes in like volume 1. And then volume 2 is the Riddler. We don't get darker than the Birthday Boy. That was a one and done thing. I think Jeff Johns was like, "Ooh, I went to a dark place. I don't know what happened there."
This is a bit much for a comic.
Then again, I killed Wally West baby and then brought it back. Uh
Yeah, literally.
Cut to Flash movie with baby in microwave.
uh but yeah,
Oh yeah.
like volume 2, there's no Joker, it's Riddler. So Riddler's the bad guy, and Killer Croc shows up, and he's a good guy.
Yay!
Oh, sorry. Uh, uh, yeah. So it's yeah. Earth, Batman, Earth 1, Volume 1, and Volume 2 were good.
Beautiful, man. You know, I think Halloween media is great.
Mm.
I miss that they don't do. I feel like they don't do specials anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Shout out to Scared Shrekless.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
right.
a really good Halloween special.
Mm, it's a good
Always
one.
watch that on Netflix.
I also kind of like some of the other DreamWorks stuff. Like remember the Monsters versus Aliens one, Evil Carrots?
Oh yeah.
Oh, and the what is it? The Three Little Pigs from Shrek dealing with the Wolf Man.
Yeah.
Such an end of an era, dude.
Yeah, I missed that era. Um, but oh yeah, and it was like included in like this whole collection of like DreamWorks horror stories, and the button was included of Megamind, and I'm like, I wouldn't count this as a horror thing.
I remember that DVD.
Do you know what I would consider a horror movie?
What?
The most recent Megamind.
Oh,
Yeah, that cartoon, Yowza.
yeah,
Man, I love Cocomelon.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
It was pretty much Cocomelon, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we wrap up?
No, I covered what I had.
Yeah, same here.
Ben?
Um, don't put jalapenos on your pizza unless you're prepared for the spicy diarrhea.
Public service announcement from Ben.
Fair
One
enough.
of my last statements will be a controversial take. I heard not a lot of people like this movie, but I think As Above, So Below is a great movie.
As a
No,
what?
it's a good movie.
As Above, So Below.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting take.
I think it's a good take.
Thank you. Thank you.
So currently I'm at 164 views for Transformers 1 episode.
It's
Thanks.
crazy. I'm
Yeah, so
very, very happy to talk about a movie like that.
yeah, it's one of I think we also caught it at the right time. Strike while the iron's hot.
I feel like I was slow, but I'm happy that it's working. You
Well, it's
know,
on
I'm like,
streaming now.
All right,
I
damn. I
yay!
feel like it just
I
came
have
out in
never
theaters.
watched a single thing about Transformers.
Oh,
Your
would you?
video got me watching the movie.
Oh yeah, Transformers 1?
The one that just came out. I just started it and I had to start it at work, but I have to continue it.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, yeah,
It's good.
it's so good because like I really feel like we put our effort and energy into it, and we really tried to like hit that spot where we go,
Mm-hmm. And
this
I put
is this is what we care about. This is why we care about it. This is what made us go fucking crazy about it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you guys for all being here.
Of
Hopefully we
course.
can do this again next time. I know I'm going on a trip in a couple of weeks. Maybe when I come back from my trip, we can do something like this on like a Wednesday night or a
Yeah.
Thursday night because I want to do that multiple comics era topic with you guys.
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
So yeah, we'll just text each other, just try to keep each other in the loop and do
Yeah.
this. Like, would a Wednesday night work best for everyone?
Wednesday and Thursdays are my days off, so those work perfect for me.
That
Ben?
should work fine for me too.
Wednesday, Thursday works pretty good for me, especially like this late. Yeah.
Okay.
If I can suggest, I don't know what you have planned for episodes, but a middle point between Thanksgiving and Christmas movie episode.
Not a
I have
bad
some
idea.
Specifically
like
like
a lot of
Christmas movies or
Oh, we'll
any
definitely
movies in
do a
general.
Christmas special
You gotta
episode.
talk
Okay.
about free birds.
Just a
That's like
podcast.
the only Thanksgiving movie I can think of.
Yeah, same. Spider-Man
Planes,
1.
Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good one. There you
That's a
go.
good one. Spider-Man 1, there's a
Yes.
Thanksgiving scene.
Zach, this video is you. It's a kid. It's a kid eating a shoebox, and it says pumped up kicks, and it's not pumped up kicks, and I eat a shoebox.
I have seen that so many times, and like people have told me, like, why is this something you would record and send it to me?
Literally.
Okay, guys, I think it's time to log off right now. Stop the recording. All
Yeah.
right. See you. All right. Everybody say goodbye.
See you later,
Bye.
guys.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Woo.
Feel spooked.